So in this video, I'm going to be going through the differences between ice and heat, especially when it comes to regarding tight muscles or if you've had an injury, and which would be the best for you to use depending on the different scenario. Now, one of the common things that's been used for a lot of people has been ice in the past. And the idea from this is that, if you're using ice, it's going to start to reduce inflammation, might reduce swelling, and there's been a lot of a doctrine that it should be used as something which will then help to either come after an injury or something, say if you've got tight muscles, maybe the muscles are feeling very sore and very uncomfortable, that we should then use ice in that situation. However, this has actually always been based on theory, but never been based on any kind of experimental data, and even the theory has a lot of flaws and a lot of logic missing from it. The truth is that there's actually a book that came out recently, well, it came out I think a couple of years ago, called Ice, the Illusory Treatment Option, where they really go through the science and the research that using ice in the majority of situations, for the majority of people, is not going to be the best option. Using ice is something that would be great if you have, say, an ankle injury. Say you've rolled your ankle and it's starting to swell up and it's going to get to a point where it's going to be, really, really inflamed, really big, going to cause a lot more pain, might even cause more damage in that area. Then in these cases, ice is a good idea. The other situation where ice is a good idea, apart from, say, a direct kind of trauma or injury such as that, is if somebody is, say, going for a competition. Say maybe someone's a professional athlete and they're a fighter and they know they're going to have a boxing match very, very soon, so they need to slow down the inflammation of the body. The reason this is a problem for the majority of people is that when you're using ice, it's going to be closing those blood vessels, constricting the flow of the blood. And when this happens, as well as reducing inflammation, it's also going to be slowing down the healing process. For the majority of us, we think of inflammation being this bad thing, and it is if it's left to run rampant, but it can't be stopped completely, because inflammation, especially say in muscles which are tight or muscles which are repairing, that actually is something that's needed. If there's no inflammation, more blood flow won't get into the area, you won't be able to have more nutrients, more oxygen, and things will take a slower time for it to heal. And again, this is great if you're like an athlete, or you see someone who's in the Olympics and they've got these multiple days or multiple weeks of coming up different kind of challenges, then they need to make sure that they're recovering as soon as possible for that next challenge. However, that's only during the time that you're going to be in that competition kind of state, only the time when you're going to be competing with other people or competing with whatever your sport may be. So in those cases, or when there's a direct injury, ice is very helpful. However, for the majority of us, for the probably 99+% people, we are not going to be getting the best out of ice on a regular basis. Maybe if you have to get to work and you just have to bear through the pain, that's something where it can be helpful. In many ways, it's going to be acting in some ways similar to something like Panadol or other types of slow medications, which are going to be more focused on painkiller. Because these painkillers, again, much like, say, for the ice, they do not fix the problem, they may just slow down the issues or allow you to not feel it quite as much at the time. However, for the majority of people, especially if it is, say, things like sore muscles or more chronic problems, then the thing that's going to be most useful is going to be heat. Heat is something where it's going to start to promote to some extent inflammation in that area. Hopefully, again, because it's under control of the heat, not your body running rampant, then the control of the inflammation is going to be in a good sense, so that's going to help to speed up the healing process in that area. The other thing that will happen with heat as well is it's bringing that redness to the area. It's going to allow those muscles to relax better. It's going to allow them to be much more calm, so you don't have to take any kind of muscle relaxants or anything such as that. What can be helpful in some cases is having this rotation between the two of them, going between heat and going between cold. But it has to be a mix of both, not just one or the other. And generally this is going to be better more for athletes, more to make sure that their blood vessels are opening and closing and making sure they're staying elastic, so that when they go out for competitions, they're going to be as athletic as they can be. So to summarize, ice is something which we've thought of for a long time as being very helpful to us, especially if we are feeling soreness in the muscles. But the truth is, really, it's only going to be good for someone if they've had a direct injury, such as twisting an ankle or twisting a knee, or if someone is a pro athlete and they know that they have to compete very soon and they need to slow down their healing process, which sometimes may, of course, be affecting their performance. However, for the majority of us, the main thing really, if there is some sort of muscle soreness and we want to use something to help at that short term, is going to be heat, because heat will then bring out the inflammation around the body, allowing the body to do more healing and really getting the process going better for a more long-term solution, as well as being coupled with other things such as chiropractic, healthy eating, stretching, and other things that your practitioner can help you with. If you have any questions about this or anything else, please feel free to put them in the comments, give us a text at 8438-9550 or help@vitalitychiropracticcentres.com, and we'll reply to your emails as soon as possible.